Austin Peay head coach Scotty Walden, the Governors, came out from Nissan Stadium with a victory over Tennessee State. They can end the season this week with a victory. They'd have another winning season and finish 4-2 in the OVC. That opponent's Tennessee Tech. So, Coach, just thoughts on the win and then looking to the last game of the season coming up.
Yeah, Kyle, appreciate it. Really, really proud of our football team. It's not every day that, and every year, obviously, you get to play the same opponent twice, as we talked about. There's a lot of challenges in that, but also it gave us a chance to kind of get back and study where we missed things the first time against them. And I give credit to our number one, our players, for just coming out executing at an extremely high level and having the passion and the desire to play and being excited to play. I mean, that's part of it right now. Not every team can go to the playoffs. Not every team can win a championship. So who's going to be motivated to play? And I was really proud of our staff for bringing the energy and bringing the will to prepare, and our players, our leadership, for having the will to prepare during the week, because they prepared their tails off. They practiced hard. They wanted this one. We viewed it. We used the word redemption all week, and that wasn't just an emotional term. It was a term for, hey, we need to redeem our performance from earlier in the year because it wasn't up to our standard. And I thought that we did a great job in all three phases. There's still some things you want to clean up on each side of the ball, but I'll say this: I thought that we played a really clean game in all three phases. Nearly had a shutout, and Tennessee State's a good football team. I mean, they're athletic, they're big, they pose a lot of matchup issues, and I'm really, really proud of our coaching staff and our players for their preparation. I thought defensively played lights out. Offensively, I thought we played very explosive, and then we offensively, with special teams, I thought with the block punt with Dre McRae, unbelievable performance by him. That's why he was newcomer of the week in the OVC. Unbelievable performance, and then Maddox Trujillo is just steadying the boat, man. I mean, just that's my guy right there. Freshman, just ice in his veins. He can miss one, doesn't bother him. He just gets back out there and keeps kicking. But very, very proud of this football team, Kyle, and very proud of our staff, and very proud of the victory this past week.
Dre's somebody that's on the Jerry Rice list as well. This year, there's not as many maybe freshmen making his impacts as you have a lot of the COVID people coming back. So talk about him and getting him, with the special teams, what he's done for your receivers. And he's behind a couple excellent, you have some other good receivers too, but he's made an impact there for you.
Yeah, Kyle. I mean, we were fortunate. We signed the number 3 recruiting class in the nation and number 1 in the OVC this past offseason. And Dre McRae was instrumental in that. I mean, he's a 3-star recruit from Tallahassee, Florida. And this guy, I think he's the third, when we looked at a second or third highest rated recruit in Austin Peay State history. And he's playing this kid is, and I say kid lightly, I mean, he's a very mature young man. He is not a typical freshman that's, heads everywhere this guy's just steadying the boat. As good as a player as is, Kyle, he's an even better person. I mean, he's going to be a leader in our program for a long time. The kids respond to him. He's a silent assassin, doesn't say a lot, but all you got to do is watch the way he practices, watch the way he works every day. The guy, Coach Papalardo, Coach Powell, our special teams coordinators, devised a great scheme, I think, for Tennessee State's punt unit to block it. And, if it's him blocking it or him being the sacrificial guy, he'll do it. He doesn't care. He wants to win. And that's a very, very unique sign of excellence from a freshman. But he is, I think he's got a chance to be one of the best receivers in FCS. I really do. As he continues, I think his potential is through the roof, and my projections for him are very high because the type of player he is, but also the kind of person he is. And we knew when we signed him that he was going to be an integral part of what we do. And so I'm very, very proud of him. Blocking that punt too, Kyle, I want to point out our defensive lineman, Terrell Allen, number 99, unselfish play. He's one of our big twitchy guys, and we needed him to get on that personal protector and kind of take the, be the pick guy. And he was, and then Dre McRae, scored it through there and got the block. And that really got the momentum of the game in our favor. And so kudos to our coaching staff putting together a great plan, and more kudos to our players for executing the plan. Great job by those guys.
I mentioned your receivers, whether it's Draylon or Sheldon, you all have a lot of big receptions and yards per a pass attempt, and you're in the tops in the country. So talk about some of those big plays that you all have made that how they come about. And I know not every play is a big play, but they seem to be very successful and getting big chunks of yardage for you at times this year.
Yeah, and down the stretch, Kyle, we're throwing and catching a lot more of them, and I just think that's consistency and the confidence that we've developed in this offensive system. This system is very unconventional, so it's taking time, like, for our guys to understand, like, what we're trying to do. I don't think sometimes they understand how attack style, like, we want to be. I mean, I got a question one time from a coach, about, like, hey, what's your goal every offensive drive? Is there a different goal each drive you want to attain? I'm like, no. I mean, we want to score touchdowns every drive. And when we don't, we're disappointed. That's the deal. But our players have really started to develop, I think, an ownership of it, and really getting excited about it, because we're going to throw the ball downtown, and we're going to take our shots. We think that puts pressure on defenses, whether we complete it or we get a PI call, or we get those DBs to back up a little bit, and you don't want people to sit on you and play. All of a sudden, I feel like then they make you start playing on your heels as opposed to us dictating to them. But Draylon Ellis, Sheldon Layman, and Dre McRae, Eugene Minner, Benico Harley, CJ Evans. Those guys have been big play guys. I think Eugene Minner's averaging like 19 yards a catch. He's only got like 21 catches on the year, but he's got 4 touchdowns. The guy has just been big play down the field. And I think that's and I really appreciate you bringing up that stat, because that's a stat I'm big on, and our offensive staff is big on his yards per catch. If we're averaging 15 yards a catch, Benico Harley, he's leading the league in receptions, in yards. And on top of that, he's averaging, I think, like 16 yards a catch. To be that consistent and that explosive, that's a big time deal. That's big time production. So yes, we take a lot of pride in pushing the ball down the field, but also some of those plays are, heck, we just put it in play underneath, and those guys broke it. Like last week, you saw Dre McRae break a little slant route, and he goes for 30. Those things are going to happen. When you have great players, and you can. And our quarterbacks do a good job getting the ball to them in space. But I feel like they're playing with a lot of confidence right now, Kyle, and that's kind of leading to that success.
So how can you sum up your first 2 years? It's all happened in this calendar year too. We've talked about that. I know you get this game to play, but win or lose, how do you sort of sum up what these 2 seasons into one have been like for you?
Whew, man, that's hard to put into words, brother. All I can say is, whew, that's all I can say, baby. That's it has been it's been wild. It's been taxing and challenging. For me personally, obviously, I was at another university, coached a fall there, coached a spring here, coached a fall here. So really, for my staff and I, some of these guys that came with me, they coached a full season at the FBS level last fall, and then came in the spring, coached a full season. Now I've coached a full season in the fall. I'd rather not do that again, if that's okay with everybody. I'll tell you this. I think you find out how resilient you are, and you find out how resilient your players are. I give kudos to the players, coaching wise. Yeah, it's taxing. It's hard on your family, right? My wife, and my son moving here, and our coaches' families moving here to Clarksville, which has been amazing, but transitioning and just being on the go, which is Division I college football regardless. But when you're talking about playing, 3 seasons in a calendar year, that's a whole nother level. But I think the kudos really goes to the players. These guys have put their bodies on the line week in and week out. I look at guys like Jack McDonald for us. This guy's taken, 1,500 reps, in the past year. Special teams and defense. And I could go through numerous players on our team and throughout the OVC, everybody's been through this. But I think you got to give credit due to the players for them to continue to fight, continue to play. Unbelievable resiliency. And I think sometimes we underestimate, how tough we are, how hard-nosed we are, and how much we love this game. I think it tested everybody's love for the game. It tested everybody's will. And the guys that are finishing their seasons this Saturday across the country, and the guys that will continue to go in the playoffs, kudos to them, man. Kudos to everybody in the nation for dealing with, arguably maybe the hardest period of time in college football history, and dealing with it with flying colors and getting through adversity and all the challenges that have come with it. So I'm very, very proud to be around a group of men that have embraced that challenge and gone through that. But in the future. I'm looking forward, Kyle, to kind of get back on a regular schedule, man. We haven't had an off season with these guys. We as a new staff, I mean, people tell me I'm in year 1.5 or heck, I feel like I'm in my first year still, man. I haven't even got a chance to sing Kumbaya with these guys, man. So we're looking forward to getting some, player development, getting in the off season, and getting in the weight room and getting a bond with these guys. I haven't had much time for that, but I'm proud of these seniors. I want to send them out the right way. We win Saturday against a really good Tennessee Tech team. It is not going to be easy. They are a very good football team, disciplined, sound. I have a ton of respect for Coach Alexander and what he's built out there. They're a really good football team, Kyle. And but I'll tell you this: if we can find a way to pull it off, it'll be the third winning season in the past 10 years in school history. Which that's a big time feat. Our class arguably, I don't know the stats yet, but arguably could end up being our senior class could end up being the winningest class in Austin Peay State history. So that matters to us. We want to protect our seniors. We want to win this game, and we got to have the will to prepare the rest of this week and find a way to it's going to be hard to avoid distractions, emotions. That's a big challenge this week. We're going to have to avoid those things because we got a football game to play, and our guys are going to remember the outcome of that game more than anything. So, they deserve our best as coaches, and they deserve the underclassmen's best as well. So we're excited to get back out and get to play this Saturday.
Coach, thanks again for your time today, all season long, and best of luck on ending the season on a positive note.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle, for having me. You guys do an awesome job all year, man. Thanks for all you do, brother.
You're welcome.